Glory be to God. It's October 14th, 2024. So, what's going on with me today? Today is a holiday, and since I didn't see my kids this past weekend because they were sick, I wanted to check up on them, and I was hoping that I can see them today because I was going to go towards that area of town. And I was thinking, well, maybe they didn't go to school because it's a holiday. And I was thinking, okay, well, I know my wife probably did not work today. So I leave a message on her phone. Like I said, I'm blocked. Can't text her. Got to leave a voice message, right? And I simply ask, would like to see my kids or get a video conference, right? But I also text the babysitter to ask if she had the kids. Now, and then I called my stepson, DJ, because I'm thinking, well, I know he didn't go to school, so, earlier I text him. Didn't nobody answer anything. I ain't get no call from my wife. DJ didn't respond back. The babysitter didn't respond back. So I wait like another hour, and I called DJ, but now when I called him earlier, it was ringing, but now it ain't ringing. I'm like, okay, weird activity again. Can't call my wife. So I called the babysitter. It's ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing, and then she finally picks up. Hey, Rashad, I got to drop, I got a baby in my arm. Let me put this baby down, blah, blah, blah. So she tells me too much information that I should not even be knowing. Because all I asked her was, do you have the kids? Now, this is how the enemy works. Like I said, he's always trying to give me information that I don't need to have to make me start overthinking and worrying and everything else. And I got to tell myself, don't get upset, don't get mad, don't do nothing. So she tells me, yeah, I do got Raquel, and I dropped off Rayma this morning. I'm gonna drop them off today and pick them up tomorrow morning because, and this is what the enemy wanted me to hear, Coretta's out of town. Why is she telling me that she's out of town? Right? Did I really need, I didn't ask for all that. I just asked, but now it makes sense. So now the enemy done planted the seed in my mind to make me upset, to get me curious on where she's going, where she's went. So she tells me that she's out of town. She won't be back till tomorrow. She went to North Carolina. Now, this is the part that got me I'm not going to say I was upset, but I'm like, why would you leave out of town? We're still legally married. We're separated, but we're still legally married. Let me go ahead and say that. We're separated, but we're still legally married, and we're separated because this is what the enemy wanted me to do. He wanted to work on my wife, right? Like I said, everything she says, everything she does is always negative. It ain't nothing positive. Now, I didn't pick up my kids this past weekend because they were sick. And I made a video about that. And I didn't want them being in this room where I can't even really open this window they're sick, and I didn't want to catch the chances of me getting sick. But it ain't nothing for them to do in this bedroom but watch TV. And they're still, my daughter's 4, but she's, highly functional autistic. So it depends on what she's watching, if it gains her attention or whatnot. But to just be in this room for 4 hours or whatever, it's a little bit too much. But anyway, so I get off the phone with her. She tells me that Coretta's mom is at the house. Now, anytime Coretta's mom is at the house, she's there to supervise. She's very old, late 70s, and she's just there to supervise. So I call up her mom, ask her a simple question. Is Coretta out of town? Now, I already know, based off what the babysitter told me, that she is out of town, and supposedly she's supposed to be in North Carolina. But I still ain't got a call back from my wife. Mother tells me she don't know. Okay. Why are you lying, and why are you acting like you don't know? I had to tell her, I said, just because you done seen me get loud, have you ever seen me put my hands on my wife? Have you ever heard me curse at her? Yes, I may called her and said that she's being used by the enemy, but it's not like every time we had an argument and a fight, I'm like, oh, you're being used by the enemy. You're being used by the enemy. That's never took place. Y'all done seen some of these videos. Y'all done heard my wife call herself the enemy, right? She calls herself the enemy more than I call her. I don't even call her the enemy. I said, you're being used by the enemy once again. But I had to ask her mom, you done seen her yell at me, curse at me, put her hands on me. But for some reason, you don't want to call her out. She said she don't want to get involved. I said, but on the flip side, I love your daughter more than anything. Whatever. So I talked to the mom, just talking to her, trying to explain, you supposed to be a Christian woman, but you lying and you doing this. God gonna judge you. Ain't nothing I could do. God gonna judge you. And you can't, people think they could tell God and be like, well, God, I didn't know. Yes, you did. Stop. God knows everything. He knows your heart. He knows your mind. He knows what you're about to say before you even say it. So when every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess, just know it ain't nothing you can really say to God that's going to convince him or make him say, you know what, you're right. You're right about that. Nah, he already knows what you did, where your heart was, and your mind and everything else. So I get off the phone with her. Because, I'm to the point, like, she didn't pay for this. She can't afford to just go on a trip right now. So her supply, the new dude, is paying for everything. Sometimes some guys, they pay a lot of money because, especially when they got something real nice on their shoulder, and they know that they're not on that level, they do a little bit more. Like, he's like a sugar daddy. He's a sugar daddy. Because I know he's older than her. He's probably somewhere in his 50s. He's a sugar daddy. And he's paying for everything just to be on her side. But that's going to run out because she ain't going to want to have him in pictures. He's going to want more than what he's doing. And he's going to leave her. He's going to leave her. I don't even know. Maybe he gets some every once in a while. Maybe he's going to want more than what he's getting. Who knows? So I said, okay, if she's in North Carolina, let me call up her sister so I could ask her about seeing my children. I call up the sister. I talked to the sister for about an hour, 30 minutes. She didn't even know that we wasn't separated, but she knew that she did send me to go to jail, but she never really knew what was going on. And then she told me how my wife created a GoFundMe and she helped her on that, but she didn't know the magnitude and everything that done took place. And I learned a lot about my wife, and I learned a lot about my mother-in-law, because my sister-in-law was telling me a whole lot of stuff that I never knew about my wife. How she jumped out of the backseat of a car on the 110 freeway. That she was in the hospital for about 2 days. I don't know how old she was when she did that, but she did it. She was a grown-up at the time, let me say that. She took a lot of pills, tried to commit suicide. This is stuff that I should know, but she never wanted to share it with me. Then her sister told me how she relies on men. My wife has daddy issues. She's a narcissist. She has daddy issues. She needs a man to validate her, to make her feel a certain way. And that's why she was able to move on so quick and not think about me, because she has somebody that's showing her the attention that I normally will be able to give to her. But, you know, I feel bad for my sister-in-law because she has a lot of trauma growing up with her mom and a lot of hurt from my wife. And I told my sister-in-law, I said, Coretta will apologize. And when she does apologize, it's going to be Coretta and ain't going to be, you know, the enemy's been using my wife against us. It's the spirit of division. It's been dividing, and, you know, she was telling me how she would talk bad about her to other people, thinking it ain't going to get back. She did the same thing with me. Talk bad. She birthed a lot of people's relationships because she want to talk bad about me, but then next thing you know, she's back with me. That's because Coretta loves me. The enemy don't. So she's double-minded because she don't know what truth is. And the Holy Spirit ain't living within her. But, so I had this conversation. I learned a whole lot about my mother-in-law and about my wife. And then I get off the phone with her, I call, because I'm like, well, if she didn't know, like, first of all, she can't be in North Carolina because her sister would have heard from one of her family members, right? She would have heard from one of her family members. Even if she did not talk to her sister directly, somebody would have said something to her. So I got to thinking, I was saying, my wife was telling me how she wanted to go to Mississippi this year. And I believe she's in Mississippi to visit her grandmother, but also visit her father. Now, I don't know if she went with her supply or she went solo. That's what I'm not going to know, right? But I finally get the call from my wife, and I'm just to the point, like, I felt like she should have told me, hey, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be going out of town here. The kids is going to be watched by this person and this person until I come back in town. Because if something happens, I need to know. At the end of the day, I'm still the husband. We're not legally divorced. If something happens to her, I'm the one that makes the call. I'm the one that tells the court, the judge, the police, the doctor, whatever. I make the call because legally we're still married. We might be separated, but separation is not legal. And so how do the enemy is trying? So when I'm talking to her, she's sounding mad. And I'm like, I didn't call for her. She's trying to put the guilt trip on me, because she's like, you relinquished your visits to see your kids, so now you got to wait till the following week to see them. And I'm like, the enemy's trying to make me upset. Her tone is not right. What she's saying is not right. It don't make sense. It ain't normal. And like I told you, anytime something ain't normal, it's coming from the enemy. First of all, I'm already blocked. I should not be blocked, right? I can't text you. I can't call you. I can't even hit you on no social media accounts. That's already not normal. So that's already enemy driven. It's not like I have a history of violence towards her, verbal violence. It's not like she caught me cheating and, she's still hurt. There's nothing I done did to this woman, but still love her. But the enemy's trying to take me out of character. He's always been trying to take me out of character, get me upset, get me mad. And even though I asked, I said, I don't care who you went with. And honestly, I'm not worried. This ain't about me and you. I just wanted to know, like, why you did not tell me that you was leaving and let me know what was the game plan when it came to our young children. It ain't like our children is 17 years old, 15, 16, 17, that I could call them. No, they're 4 and 3. Soon to be 4 and 5 in November. But right now they're 4 and 3 years old. So I should know, hey, I'm going to Mississippi and this is what's going on with the kids. That's it. That's it. But she couldn't do that because the enemy wants to make me upset. He wants to take me out of my character. I didn't get to who paid for the tickets and who did this and who you out there with. Like, it don't really matter, right? I'm not going to get an answer if she was out there with her new boo thing. Like I said, if the enemy was not trying to torment me and hurt me, she would have told me, yes, Rashad, I'm talking to somebody else. Yes, I done had sex with this person, because now that gives me the out to, if I wanted to, if I chose to, divorce my wife. Somehow speed up the process, right? But that's not what the enemy wants. He wants to torment me. He wants to make me mad. He wants to hurt me. It's always a hurt. It ain't a quick hurt. The enemy ain't gonna take the gun and shoot you in the head. The enemy's he's gonna get a razor and take little cuts all over your body until your body can't take them no more. A slow death. You see what I'm saying? It'll be a slow death. So he's trying to mentally hurt me with any way he can. But I think I did good. I didn't continue to call her back and forth. I did call her a second time saying, look, all I want is for you to communicate. I didn't call you pressing you or who you with and how long you been gone and when are you coming back. I don't even know when she's coming back. The babysitter said tomorrow. All I know, she could be coming back by the end of the week. I don't know. The job that she has, I'm assuming that she's not working there no more. Or maybe she comes back tomorrow morning, continues to go to work, because I know she's supposed to start her new job on the 17th. So I'm guessing she's coming back tomorrow morning, that she's able to go to work that day, right? Because she ain't gonna be gone for the rest of this week unless she quit her job. And you know, maybe she'll call in tomorrow saying that she's sick. Today's a holiday. She'll call in tomorrow saying that she's sick. She'll go back to work on Wednesday. That's the only thing I could think of. But I didn't get mad because the enemy's going to try whatever it takes to take me out of my character, to get me upset. And I got to show the enemy, whatever you try to do, I'm going to be ready for it because it ain't going to work. And as long as I continue to pray for my wife, continue to do what I'm supposed to do with his will, doing these videos, and whatever, and not focus on the enemy, then he will flee. So yeah, it's going to take for me to not get upset, not get angry, not show concern, not get bothered. And the enemy, once he sees that whatever he's doing ain't working, like I said, God is able to do what he needs to do with her. But I wanted to make this little video, tell y'all how to fight this enemy, maneuver. And until then, I love y'all. I'm out.